Yeah, wait, I forgot to wear my watch. Feels weird. Got that white.
So Julian, you ask him what time is it, then you look at his watch.
What time is it?
It's every time.
Yeah, you should.
Welcome back to another episode of
We don't ever know. No.
You don't even know your own name of the show.
Wait lah. We don't have the sasol lah, yo. Okay, so today it's a special episode, but today we're gonna do a throwback. You know, we buang balik far back. OG days.
That far, man. It's not that long ago.
Okay lah, 2002-ish.
Actually, it's kind of long. 2002 is like
1999.
2002 is like 16 years ago, man. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about Nike SB, and because right now, you know, there's a lot of hype going around the Diamond Dunks.
Yes, the Diamond Dunks, which apparently caused a riot, but I believe that, you know, riot.
Really? You don't think it happened?
For the Canary Diamond Dunks with that colorway and that shitty quality leather.
I'm just bummed for the kids who've been waiting here for a week outside, waiting to cop these shoes, and it got shut down by a bunch of fools.
No, I don't think so. I feel it's staged.
I think lah. You really think it was staged? I think honestly it happened, and people just bought. Nowadays, right, kids really buy into the hype. I think really they follow like sheep, and they just like,
oh, it's the best colorway ever.
And everyone just went crazy.
I think it's just because it was a complex coin exclusive.
Yes, exactly. But generally, I don't have feeling for the Canary Dunks either.
Yeah.
The white ones, yes, because I'm biased towards white pairs. But generally, But yeah, there is a hype for Nike SB right now, right?
Yes, again, thanks to Travis Scott, mate.
For real?
Like,
Really?
He wear uncles to his concert. I mean, on his story, he has like Stussy SBs, he has Freddy Krueger's.
Really? You honestly think it's because of Travis?
Every time he wear that shoe, price shoot up.
Okay, I honestly think it's because there is more at play behind the scenes. I think Nike is slowly paying more attention to Nike SB right now. Nothing happens like coincidence in this industry. That's just my opinion on it. There isn't like just suddenly Travis Scott is suddenly interested in Nike SB and starts wearing it. It's definitely something working behind the scenes. You know, there's a Canary Dunk launch, there is like Diamond Dunks, there is talks about another Pigeon Dunk coming out. Yeah, there is another Purple Lobster coming out. With all these rumors, suddenly Travis Scott is into Nike SBs. Like, it's no coincidence. Before we continue on with our conspiracy theories, for those of you who are very young and you only know Off-White Nikes and Yeezys, Nike SB stands for
Nike skateboarding.
Yes.
So skateboarding SB.
It's the founder's initials.
You suck.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
This fella.
I don't know lah, that's why.
That's why it's skate shoe, bro.
What would you do if there was a child right in front of you?
Okay, well, good point. Let's retake. Nike SB means Nike skateboarding, but it also there's also another thing to it, that SB is the
Founder's names, initials.
what is the founder's name again? I can't remember. It's quite long.
Editor.
Sandy Boddicker. R.I.P. Sandy Boddicker.
Rest in peace. You did a
Rest in
good job,
peace.
man.
And in my opinion, Nike SB is the one that really started it all for the sneaker culture. Not just in Malaysia, but I think globally.
Nike SB dates back all the way to 2002, and before that there was the Pro B Dunks, and apparently like Pro B Dunks did pretty well. So that's why they started Nike SB, and Nike SB comes. For every release, there's a story behind it. Yeah.
Not just like story. I think it's one of that line where they were given a lot of freedom to try all sorts of materials.
Yes.
And they really went crazy and all out with the materials. We are just talking about, let's say we just look at on this table, just the dunks alone. There's so many materials used just on this table alone. It's pretty insane. For example, this
the Hunter wrist
fops. It's got that Goonie kind of
material.
Way before Golf Fleur.
Way before
Golf Fleur. This is what year? Let me check. What year was this produced? Produced in 2004. 14 years later, Golf Fleur. Besides materials, I think, as you said, story plays a huge role.
Concept, just like one of like these. These are called the Gibsons. The reason why it's brown and then they has this like fluffy pink sock lining is because it actually represents holder of the Gibson guitar.
The guitar case.
Yeah, the guitar case.
So like the guitar case, it's fluffy inside so that the guitar doesn't shake and spoil the guitar. This one is also another favorite of mine. This is the Red Lobster. I mean, Purple Lobster is coming out, but the Red Lobster is very sought after back then. This rubber band signifies the when you go to
pincers.
the pasar, right? Then they will rubber band the claw so that doesn't claw you. And then over here, as you can see, it's got this like little it's the
mat.
tablecloth.
Yeah.
Signifies the tablecloth of the restaurant that's famous.
Okay, but another backstory behind this is there's a red lobster, blue lobster, and yellow lobster.
Which is the rarest? The yellow, right? The yellow is like super rare.
So basically the story is for every 1,000 red lobsters you have found, you actually find 1 blue lobster. And for every 1,000 blue lobster, you find 1 yellow lobster. You saw like concept, man.
Even this red lobster is rare. But the hardest of all on this table is none other than Mr. Michael Lau right here. As you know, Michael Lau is a famous toy maker, designer, cartoonist from Hong Kong. He's got this famous line called Gardner. So this was produced back in 2006. Even stuff like this, like zoom in on that. It was like Gardner meets Nike at Hong Kong flagship. So the launch dates and details will etched at the back here. Comes with a Gardner toy and
wooden box.
And this box is insane. It's even signed by Michael Lau himself. Shout out to Showroom KL for the collection. It's even signed inside. And this whole box is actually made out of wood. You have these two here to signify the rivet holes for the skateboard. And the theme of the wood continues on with the shoe.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We checked the price on StockX. The only price we found was like 17,000 US dollars.
17,000 US dollars.
This is like super extremely rare.
Yes.
Which other pair is like your favorite here?
Probably the Pac-Man's. Maybe the Hyper Strike device. Yo.
What is your fondest memory of Nike SB?
My first shoe that started it all was actually an SB.
Ooh.
Wasn't a Nike SB, but it was the 6.0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was
When
still
was
under
this?
the skateboarding line. I think I bought it when I was 12. I used it until Form 5. I don't know why, but it was good. So I was,
your leg never grow. 12 to Form 5.
I went until everything expanded lah. That's the fondest memory. It started me into sneaker collecting.
But I remember the hype back then. I was working in showroom and like people would queue up overnight for
SBs.
SBs. That time even when the Diamond Dunk was released, I wasn't even working in the store yet. But I've seen pictures. The queue was crazy long and I think that was the first time there was ever a sneaker queue in Malaysia. It was for the Diamond Dunks. It was insane. And then from there when I started working, majority of the releases like Passhead, Levi's, even Janoski Florals,
oh yeah,
people queue up overnight. Like it's insane. I think it was period of time for a good like 5 years. It was pretty long and the hype sustained for a pretty long time. I think 5 years is quite a long time for hype.
Consistent.
Yeah, it's very consistent. Back then, one pair of this would only cost you about 369 ringgit to 399 ringgit. This was also about the same price. With the box, I think all in maybe about 600, 700 ringgit.
Yeah.
But
retail
right now, $17,000 minimum on StockX. So, I mean, it died down, but how do you think it died?
When the blue box era came in, and then the designs and the colorways start to be very
Repetitive?
dull, repetitive. You're just using suede and suede and suede. Yeah, so there's not much story to that era anymore. So
I think they lost it already that time.
yeah.
I think they lost it to Rocher.
No, Rocher Run.
The Rocher runs, and then MX was back for a while.
For a while.
And then Jordan hype back again. So I think it's a cycle and we're back here again. The hype is back.
Yes.
But as I said, it all depends on the big guys in the company. If they really want to push this product, they will. But for now, I think my interpretation is I think SB is the next hype. If you're
planning to get ahead of trend,
if you're a reseller, you would buy up some Nike SBs right now. Yeah. So yeah, with that said, we don't really have anything new to cover per se, but I think this is something very relevant to what is currently happening in the scene.
Yeah, so I feel like everyone should know more about it. And since it's coming back, Travis Scott is wearing it, and you'll soon see a lot of like rappers wearing it.
I would say Jordan did sort of like start kind of something like collecting. Yeah. But I think the one that really made it boom like mad, I think not even the Air Max had that kind of effect compared to the SBs. I think the SBs really kicked it up a notch and everyone just went crazy. If you're planning to collect SBs, another thing to take note is they are very hard to dye. Like they don't crumble, they don't spoil easily. I mean, look at these shoes. Like some of these shoes are like 16 years old and they're DS, they're not worn. We just took them out of the box and they look fresh, like super fresh. You can't even tell whether they're
fresh like lobsters.
Anyways, with that said, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah, so in case you want to know how to check a fake or what, since I mentioned it just now, we have a link in our
in the caption.
in the caption.
Oh, you got a link here.
Just make sure you check it out in case you want to get into the Nike SB collecting thing. Yeah.
With that said, last shout out to Showroom for providing us this collection, and see you next episode.
Yeah.
Peace. Oh man.